Same person who thinks he's woke by saying, hey, I have a daughter, I don't want my daughter to see that, is the same guy who's going to be bumping Tip Drill by Nelly. The same guy who will bump, Slob on My Knob 1,000 times in the car with his daughter present. So many apps and kids have access to all of them. So when you talk about censorship and kids finding this Cardi B video, this Cardi B video honestly is the least of your worries when it comes to your kid watching anything on the internet.
He wanted someone who has a black daughter that's represented as a high-profile mom in the world right now. You know, Kylie Jenner, she's a very much an
prolific. Yeah, she's definitely huge.
If she has another mom backing her, doesn't that say a bigger thing than someone of the same color?
Yeah.
Her comeback album at him, saying, "You did me dirty, but let me show you who I really am."
Are you trying to tell me right now
Have you thought about that?
Cardi B is coming out with her own lemonade?
Have you thought? Have you put it in that perspective?
Welcome to the channel. I'm Nate.
I'm Kaila.
And together we're NAILA. Today we're going to be doing a plant-based mukbang and talking about Cardi B.
Apparently, yes we are. Wasn't aware of that. Just aware about the cooking part because he can't do that.
What are you making today?
We are gonna make pasta puttanesca with some plant-based sausage, some garlic bread, and of course we gotta add our veggies and have a little zucchini up in there as well.
Nice.
You have over here the plant-based sausage. This is our absolute favorite. Beyond Meat is hands down one of the better plant-based type meats. It is a bit more expensive, but sometimes the money's worth it.
In other words, Beyond Meat cut the check.
Some sourdough bread, we got some pasta, and then the majority of this is for the sauce, except for the salt and the paprika.
Okay.
And no butter.
Got it.
For the bread. The bread calls for butter, garlic, and I gotta grab the plant-based cheese as well. But all of this right here is gonna be all for the sauce. This is really what makes it the capers and the olives. Most people do half olives instead of chopping them up finely. I like them smaller just because it's more flavorful, and I don't like big chunks of olives.
It'd be really distracting when you have the bigger chunks in there, and I really like the way you ground them. It makes them just fit a lot better.
Start with the sauce first so we can get that all melded together, get those seasonings mixed in and everything.
Yo.
So I preheated my little saucepan over here. Should be hot. We'll add some olive oil to it, about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, depends how much oil you like. 2 tablespoons of some minced garlic in here as well. I buy it jarred and ready to go. It's just easier.
This is butter, but it's actually a plant-based butter, so it's made with olive oil. A lot of people think that, oh, like if you eat plant-based or if you eat vegan, then you're always eating healthy, and that's definitely not the case. There's plenty of unhealthy foods that are completely vegan.
Garlic's just starting to brown. So
nice.
You want to add the olives and capers and all the yumminess in there. You don't want the garlic to burn. The biggest thing that tends to happen is you let the garlic cook for too long and then burn. No one likes the taste of burnt garlic. So a teaspoon of chili flakes. Most people like probably a little less. We like a little bit spicier, so I add a little bit more.
It's me, I'm the spicier.
And about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. I kind of eyeball it. I really don't measure unless I'm baking.
Got it.
And while that's getting going, we can cut the zucchini. Cut off both ends here. Then I always cut it in half and then cut lengthwise. I don't know why I can't cut it all together. Don't ask me.
I can't cut it all. Whenever I cut, the vegetables go flying everywhere.
The one time I really cooked with them, cauliflower everywhere. There's more cauliflower on the ground in the table than there was in the bowl. Also preheated the oven to 400 for our garlic bread. We're gonna make some garlic bread, kind of messy garlic bread from scratch. How much bread do you think you want tonight?
Yes.
This should be spreadable butter. Just lather it on there.
Okay.
I I've done it both ways, where you melt the butter before and you don't melt it. I feel like this one allows the bread to get a little crispier. When you melt the butter ahead of time, it kind of makes it soggier, I've noticed.
Got it.
So, no one likes soggy bread.
Unless it's sopping up some soup. It's the only time.
Well, you know how I feel about soup.
Yeah.
I don't.
You know how I feel about soup too.
You like it more than I do.
Just slightly more.
You like it when you're sick.
You're giving away too much secrets, babe.
You know what this channel's all about, exposing? Usually about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, probably per slice.
Wow.
I want a decent amount of butter on there. Let's put some garlic on this bread now. Mind pulling out the cheese while you're in there?
Not at all.
Garlic right on. Some plant-based cheese. Sometimes we forget to say plant-based.
Yeah.
You can also add a little bit of sugar in here, like a teaspoon, if you feel like it's too salty. Don't add any salt to this. My grandma's had me in the kitchen since I was about 3 years old, mostly so she could keep an eye on me. Diced tomatoes. I put in 2 cans of these, 1 can of tomato paste. You can always cut this recipe in half. Another one of these. Ooh. Not easy, y'all. No one wants tomato on them.
Hey, she out here whipping.
Get
Cook
this
it.
all mixed
Cook it.
together.
Cook it.
So you can always add a little bit of water if you feel like you need a little bit more soupier. I put a little bit on my garlic bread. Just a little sprinkle. Just enough to give it a little flavor. Probably a little more than a sprinkle, Kayla. Yeah. A couple sprinkles.
Yeah.
Always put parchment paper down too, so it doesn't burn onto your pan and ruin it. Also, your honey will thank you later when it's not so burnt on and he's trying to clean it.
Me, as in the honey. I thank people who use parchment paper. You are responsible citizens and deserve to be overpaid.
Maybe like a 1/4 cup of cheese on each slice here. Again, you don't have to put cheese. We like cheese. It just gives it a little bit more extra of a creamy gooiness, especially when you're on that plant-based diet. You gotta get creative, find different ways to kind of get that creaminess back in, because you don't always get it.
It's plant-based cheese, so it is a little different.
It is different. It's not gonna melt just like other cheese, so don't get paranoid on me if it doesn't look like it's melting. Water, water, water. Pasta, we still need this. I'm gonna put a little salt on our zucchini once we get them in the pan. I cook my zucchini with my sausage.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
It
like
gets a little bit of the flavor and that fat from the sausage. Because that's one thing Beyond Meat does if you're gonna try a plant-based diet, is they have somehow been able to incorporate pieces that just melt away like fat.
Yeah.
And it gets that real char and that real like greasy flavor that you're looking for. And I love adding that with the veggies. So you can spice them up. Everyone will eat your veggies if you add a little bit of this grease up in it.
Zucchini actually in particular is like really good at absorbing flavors. It makes sense to go ahead and cook it with the Beyond sausage.
This open. My sausage is still a little frozen, so I'm gonna put that in before my zucchini so they can get going.
Cardi B releases WAP, which stands for Wet Donkey Cat. Okay, I need this to be monetized. I'm not trying to get demonetized. Even though we don't even have monetization yet on this channel, I don't want this to get demonetized later. So it seems like there is a considerable amount of people that were kind of protesting against the song because they felt like it was too raunchy and it's setting the wrong example for young people, young females in particular. What are your thoughts on that, honey?
I think a lot of people are making more judgments about the video than they are about the song. I get everyone has their own opinion, do you, but that's not the reason to bring down women. And unfortunately, I feel like it's really women bringing down women based on how they want to represent themselves. We all have things we love about ourselves, about others, and if you really listen to the song, you see that she's basically saying, I know what I'm worth.
Yeah.
You better be at my level or higher if you want a piece of this.
It's about empowerment in a lot of ways.
About empowerment.
And I can definitely see both sides of the argument of women saying like, this is representing women in a raunchy way, and you know the only people who are benefiting are the heterosexual males that are championing behind this behavior.
But there's definitely plenty of women out there too that are chanting the behavior.
Very
so don't
true.
forget that. No, all love, all inclusive here. It's not just men, but it's definitely heterosexual women that are going after Cardi B specifically.
Yeah.
Which that's not okay. We should be uplifting each other, empowering each other. And if this is a song about empowering, why are you trying to drag her down? Because you're not on her level? Because you want to look like that and you don't? Why? Who cares? Look at Lizzo, for example.
Yeah.
Look how bomb she is, and at her size, she is beautiful. Doesn't matter what size you are. Doesn't matter anything like that. Be confident in who you are. And for Cardi B, she's confident in who she is.
Yeah.
And I praise her for that. It takes a lot of effort to put in yourself to feel that way.
I 100% agree with that. And I think that the whole song really in a lot of ways is a process. And it really shouldn't be that way now. I think that if this was a guy who made the very same type of song, let's say Big Sean came out with this, no one would trip. This would not be this big of a deal. But because it's... Yeah.
Jason Derulo, for example.
Or
he has
Chris
a lot
Brown.
of raunchy songs, too.
So many artists have raunchy songs. And it's just the fact that it's Cardi B, who is a female, who has a lot of females who watch her. That's the reason why people are upset. And I did see this one dad, I guess, on Twitter. He made some video talking about, I have a daughter. And if I don't want my young daughter to be taught that and see that. Okay, well, if you're a conservative parent, then yeah, control what your kid watches then. Click them off the internet. That's well within your rights. But that doesn't mean you need to tear down another artist or tear down the video for people who are adults that want to consume the content.
But also think about Cardi B is a mom.
Yeah.
Kylie Jenner is a mom. I don't know if Megan Thee Stallion's a mom. She's not a mom, right?
Not that I know of.
Not that I'm aware of, anyways.
I don't think she is.
I also feel like sometimes I'm under a rock. Kylie Jenner wasn't, a singer or a rapper in this song. She was just there for the moment. She's putting herself on the line too. But as mothers, if they feel confident in this, then clearly they are very aware of how they're going to represent themselves for their daughters, and they want to be powerful and impactful. And that's something that's so meaningful too. It's by a woman who is a mom. Yeah. If you don't want your kids to see this, especially at a young age, there's parental control over everything.
There's literally a whole kids version of YouTube. Like, whole site is glitched out or whatever, and there still sometimes are things that get in there that aren't supposed to be there. Yeah. But the whole point is that you can control what kind of content your kid is viewing. That doesn't mean that you should tear down the media for everyone else. The same person who thinks he's woke by saying, hey, I have a daughter, I don't want my daughter to see that, is the same guy who's going to be bumping Tip Drill by Nelly. The same guy who will bump, slob on my knob 1,000 times in the car with his daughter present.
I also feel like I'm not a parent, so I can't say as much as a parent can, but I feel like if I ever were to become a parent, I would want to expose my child to different things and be culturally aware of different things, whether I agree with them or not. Because I don't want to end up with a kid that I so much hate from the world that when they do enter the world, they don't know anything. They make a fool of themselves. They say things they shouldn't say. Yeah. I feel like if I am a parent, it will be my job to help instill as much culture in them as possible and be aware. And I'm not saying I want a 5-year-old daughter to listen to the song. Clearly not. They're not going to understand. But someone in high school, this isn't the worst thing for them to listen to. They're going to probably listen to it without your knowledge anyways. Yeah. So.
Especially with the way that the world is now when it comes to kids. Kids are desensitized to an abnormal level just based on the internet alone. I don't know about y'all, but when I was younger, we had AIM, and we would send links. People would send links to you all the time, and we would just click it, and boom, we would instantly be desensitized to whatever we saw. And a lot of the stuff in those links were way worse than this Cardi B video. You think that it was like that back then when I was a kid with AIM? It's 10 times worse now. Snapchat.
There's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's Facebook, there's TikTok. WhatsApp app. Yeah. There's so many. I can't even keep track of how many apps there are now.
So many apps, and kids have access to all of them. So when you talk about censorship and kids finding this Cardi B video, this Cardi B video honestly is the least of your worries when it comes to your kid watching anything on the internet. Just saying. It could get 10 times worse.
Totally. Yeah.
What do you think about Kylie Jenner being in the video? For some reason, she has a bunch of signatures signed to get her removed from the video.
Why?
I guess there were other people of color that Megan Thee Stallion had mentioned before that they felt like should have been in the video to represent having a WAP. And since, I don't know if you know this artist, her name is Saweetie. She's dating Quavo. She's a pretty popular...
I know who Quavo is.
Yeah, well, good. She knows who Quavo is. She made that song, That's My Type. You know, that's my type. You know
I
that
like
song?
that song.
Yeah. So she's one of those people that people were championing to be a part of the video. Kylie Jenner's there instead. And I guess people were upset about that.
If she wants to pick someone else to make it more inclusive, that you don't have to be necessarily black to have a WAP, then what's wrong with that?
You know what I didn't even think about that you brought up earlier too when we were talking about this in the car? The fact that Kylie is a mother. And I know you also brought it up during this video too. But I do think that that was another reason for her inclusion in the video. When you think about it, I think that that's kind of like a statement as well. You got women like Beyonce. You got Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? They look phenomenal. And they're kind of showing you like, hey, you know, you can do it all. You can be smart. You can be attractive. You can be a mom and take care of your kids. And you can be a businesswoman.
But you also gotta remember, Kylie Jenner is the mom of the black daughter.
Yeah.
So you can also look at it as that. Is the other person a mom?
I don't think so. I don't think
so.
Saweetie's a mom.
Cardi B wanted someone who has a black daughter that's represented as a high-profile mom in the world right now. You know, Kylie Cosmetics, she's a very much an
prolific.
influence.
Yeah, she's definitely huge.
If she has another mom backing her, doesn't that say a bigger thing than someone of the same color? Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean. It's more about inclusion.
Check on my bread.
It's smelling good in here.
5 more minutes. Sauce is coming together. See how it's kind of loosened up a little bit. The cheese is kind of melting, but obviously it's not like real cheese.
Smell in here is something you can't capture on film, unfortunately, but it smells amazing in here.
All WAP aside, it's really about showing your self-worth. Yeah. And knowing that you are better than some of the men out there in the world, unfortunately, right now that are just not together.
Maybe it's kind of also about respecting your body and respecting your boundaries and upping your filter.
I don't know if this has been talked about already because I haven't clearly been all the way caught up on this topic, but have you also thought about maybe this is her showing the world, like her husband obviously stuck out on her in their marriage. Maybe this is her comeback, you know, kind of like Beyonce and Jay-Z when he stepped out. Is this her comeback song? Is this her comeback album at him? Saying, you did me dirty, but let me show you who I really am.
Are you trying to tell me right now
have you thought about that
Cardi B is coming out with her own lemonade?
Have you put it in that perspective? It's just a thought. It just dawned on me. Maybe this is, because you don't see Offset coming out with anything right now yet really about this, but maybe this is her stance in saying like, yeah, he may have done me dirty, but look at me, look who I am now, because she's quite frankly come a long way from when she first started on Love and Hip Hop and where she's at now, and quite frankly, she might be doing even better than Offset is now.
Oh, right now, for sure. The thing is, too, when you look at the Migos, right now, they're going through a huge kind of issue with QC, and now they're no longer with QC, which was their big label.
Maybe that way. This is her revenge song, her revenge album. I don't know. Because nothing has stopped her. Everyone was saying, oh, why would you have a kid when you just started your career? Yeah. This is her showing everybody, I may have been cheated on, I may have had a daughter, but nothing's going to stop me from being a powerful woman to show my daughter nothing can stop you. Not a cheating husband, not a kid early on in your career, doesn't matter, anything like that. You can have it all. Look at her. Look at her comeback. Nothing has stopped her. But where's Offset?
Offset.
Let me finish this food, and then we'll come back with more, okay?
Okay. So tonight we're gonna pop this for the mukbang.
Now the truth is really coming out.
This is when things get interesting, huh?
Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome to our first official mukbang. My first ever mukbang.
Mine too.
Yeah, both of our first ever mukbangs. So welcome.
Is it mukbang or mukbang?
I honestly don't know.
I say mukbang, so I have to say mukbang.
I always say make mukbang. I don't really know.
Everyone says it differently too. Whenever I watch them, because I'm a big fan of watching them, they all say it differently. So I'm not really sure what the right answer is.
Hopefully you'll let us know in the comments section how to say it.
Want me to serve you a plate?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
No problem. Want some pasta?
Mm-hmm.
You let me know when to stop. You want a sausage?
Yes, please.
Can I use my fingers?
Yes, of course you can.
You want some zucchini?
Mm-hmm.
Is that enough zucchini? And then a piece of garlic bread. There you go, son.
Yum! Thank you.
Serve me up some food. Like we haven't eaten in a long time, but it was really not that long. Well, it was 6 hours ago.
Yeah, well, that's what noodles will do.
So, oh, my zucchini's over here. And then I'm excited.
Me too. I'm just gonna take a bite of this big old piece of bread. Mm-hmm.
This is like a fail-proof sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a minute to eat real quick.
Right? Ooh, and I love the spice.
I got a little carried away.
Great. And the zucchini has all the flavor of the sausage.
Right?
The plant-based sausage.
Another really good thing about cooking it in the same pan, one less dish. How can you get mad at that?
It's so good.
I love the sausage. Okay.
We're talking about the idea of Cardi B releasing her own lemonade. And this album being that for her. The one thing I will say is, like, when I listen to WAP, I don't feel like I'm listening to a revenge song at all. While there were definitely tracks on Lemonade that were stand out as, like, I know what you did. Like Becky with the good hair type, you know? But it's possible that she just hasn't done it yet.
Well, if she comes out with a similar song like Beyonce did, it can also be seen as a copycat. So everyone has their different style of revenge and comeback at people that have done them wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to do it. You can be perfectly fine just letting them be them little selves. But if you feel like you're the type of person that needs revenge, then how can this song not be seen as a little bit of revenge against Offset and all the haters out there saying she's a bad mom, she's bad this, done that. She's not hitting her child as far as we're aware.
Not that we're
aware. Her
aware
child
of.
is always getting gifts and whatnot.
Looks well taken care of. Culture, right?
With a K.
You know what's funny? Like, you know how Meg Thee Stallion, right? She collaborated with Nicki Minaj last year with that summer song. People were saying that Meg Thee Stallion has no loyalty because she collaborated with Cardi B. How do you feel about that?
Last time I checked, you can be friends with two people that aren't friends with each other. You can work with people that aren't working with each other and have beef, because you're not part of the beef. If you're a grown-ass adult, you can be able to put those things aside and work with people regardless.
And get the bag.
And get your bag. Like, it's money at the end of the day on the line. Why are you going to let someone else's petty beef get in the way of you making a hit single or doing what you got to do to put food on the table? So I think that's complete BS.
That's a good point. Meg Thee Stallion didn't sign some exclusive contract to Nicki Minaj. you know? And why should she miss out on millions of dollars just because two people are beefing with each other?
Then why is Meg Thee Stallion gonna let some fans tell her what she can and cannot do? Last time I checked, she didn't work for them.
I feel it.
I get it. Fans help you sell music and everything like that, but at the end of the day, if this is something you really love to do, you're not in it for the money or the fans. You want to do it to be a good rapper, good singer, whatever.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the notion that she's her own woman that can do what she wants, and you can have multiple friends. And who knows what it'll lead to? It may even lead to a bridge through Megan Thee Stallion for Nicki Minaj and Cardi B to actually make up. Could you imagine a song with them actually like trying to collaborate? That could be a really, really dope song.
But Nicki really isn't doing music like that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, at first, I remember her saying she was going to retire. I don't even know what happened.
I don't know. She learned a kid's really expensive.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah. Well, she was part of a #1 hit. That Doja Cat single, Say So, the remix. That shot it to #1. So she's had a pretty successful year, even though she's retired, quote unquote.
We all know she's saying retired, so when she comes back after having a kid, she gets more money. It's a bigger hoopla.
I'm gonna get seconds. I have to.
Like, let's be real.
Yeah, you're not lying. A lot of times when artists say they're gonna retire, it's just a way to collect a bigger bag when they come back. Oh, I came out of retirement. Oh yeah, I bet the lease was due.
Retired for 1-2 years. Woo!
Need
so
to
retired.
Finish paying off that Lambo they bought. I'm getting a little bit all of it some more. Like, I'm really going in right now.
Do it.
There's not gonna be any left for you. What is this called again?
Puttanesca.
Puttanesca.
I think I'm saying it right. I don't know. It's good though.
It is good.
I got a little bit of sweat going on though from cooking.
Right?
Ooh.
I'm definitely sweating.
It's hot in this kitchen. Do you mind opening the door? But any other comments you would like to say about that?
Not necessarily. I think with Nicki, she really just needs to continue focusing on, you know, her new kid and collecting money.
Please comment below, like this video if you want us to do more videos like this, more mukbangs, as I say it, or mukbangs, however the hell you say it.
I don't even know.
But we're gonna wrap up our food, enjoy the rest of the night with some of our little rosé we got going on, and we'll see you in the next video.
Definitely. Don't forget to, like she said, leave a like, rating, and subscribe to the channel today. Hit the bell and hit all notifications so you're notified whenever we release a new video. We'll have part 3 of the Jamaica vlog coming soon, and more videos similar to this one, and also a very spicy video coming down the line. Reaction to